OLED technology is kind of taking over at the moment. OLED monitors are becoming more and more common these days, and the technology is only going to get more prominent as time goes on. The thing is though, none of the monitors in my setup actually use this technology. They all have older IPS panels. Until now, that is. Say hello to the newest monitor in my setup, the MSI MEG 342C QD-OLED. And today we're going to be taking a look at this monitor in detail and seeing how it stacks up in my setup. Big thank you to MSI for sending this out. Let's dive in. So I've been wanting to get an OLED monitor in my studio for a very long time, and thankfully my latest big project in here called for something special. If you're a follower of my content, you'll know that very soon I'm planning to build a full racing sim rig in here, which I am very excited about. And as part of that, I wanted a high-end monitor that would pair with it perfectly, and I had two factors in mind. I wanted a curved ultrawide so that I could fully immerse myself when racing, and I wanted an OLED panel for those beautiful colours and stunning imagery. Enter MSI, who sent me this MEG 342C QD OLED monitor to use in the rig. It's a 34-inch 3440 by 1440 resolution 175Hz QD OLED monitor with a 0.1 millisecond response time, 21:9 aspect ratio and 1800R curve. It retails for about £1,300, but it's actually currently 30% off on Amazon, down to £900 at the moment, which is a great deal. So now let's quickly go through an unboxing of the monitor to see what you get inside. Unboxing a monitor of this size is always an interesting experience, and I always worry that I'm going to drop it, but thankfully everything went smoothly. Inside the box you get all the usual items, instruction manuals and information, a bunch of cables including DisplayPort, HDMI, USB-C to C, USB-A to USB-B, audio splitter, and of course the power lead. And then comes the monitor assembly, which consists of a two-part stand and then the ultra-wide monitor itself. What I also like about this monitor is once it's assembled on the stand, you also get these two covers included in the box, which fill these spaces on the back to give this much cleaner look. And I must say, when it comes to aesthetics, this monitor definitely looks great. The stand has a very nice angular design which sports these lovely gold accents, making it stand out from regular all black designs. Although I will say it's quite sizable and takes up a fair bit of space on the desk. The rear of the monitor has a simple and clean design, with the two covers giving it this sleek uniform looking back panel, sporting the MSI Dragon logo on one side, again in that lovely gold colour, and then three simple buttons in gold on the other. The only downside I found here is the plastic materials that the stand and rear of the monitor are made from isn't too premium feeling, which is a shame for a high-end monitor like this. But at the same time, the build quality itself does still feel good. It's not flimsy like you might think with the plastic design, so that's a plus. Moving on to the front, and we have a beautiful glossy 34-inch screen featuring an 1800R curve to help immerse you when gaming. In terms of connectivity, on the bottom you get two HDMI 2.1 ports, DisplayPort 1.4a, USB-C, USB-B upstream, two USB-A ports and a 3.5mm jack. Then on the left hand side are two more USB-A ports and audio ports for microphone and headphones. In terms of ergonomics, you can adjust the height of the monitor easily on the stand as well as the tilt, but unfortunately you aren't able to swivel the monitor from side to side, so you'd need to mount it to a monitor arm if this is something you're looking for. The monitor supports VESA 100x100, so can be mounted to desk arms or wall mounted if you prefer. Finally, the monitor also has an RGB light strip along the bottom edge, which looks great and even has some cool features which we'll come onto later. Overall, my first thoughts are that if you could overlook the cheaper feeling plastic, this is a very nicely designed monitor. When I first booted up this monitor, I was instantly blown away by the quality of this OLED panel. The colours absolutely popped like I'd never seen, having been used to using IPS monitors. OLED monitors are known for their fantastic HDR performance, and this shows through straight away with stunningly bright and vivid imagery straight out of the box. Another plus with OLED monitors is the lack of a backlight or local dimming, and this helps to produce some incredible contrast and perfect black levels which help the colours to pop and stand out from darker areas. And speaking of colours, the monitor has a 99.3% coverage of the DCI-P3 colour gamut, giving some great colour accuracy which can be improved further with a little calibration. Visuals on this monitor are mesmerizing, and honestly, after using it for a while, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to go back to using any of my other monitors in my studio. And another reason for that is the experience I had gaming on here. The 342C is absolutely top tier when it comes to the quality when gaming. The colors and image quality that I mentioned before really come into their own when playing games, and given that this is my first time playing on a 21:9 aspect ratio curved OLED display, I felt like I'd been thrust straight into the world of the games I was playing. I tested this out playing a bunch of different games with beautiful high-end graphics and visuals, and honestly, I could have sat here and played all day if I didn't have to remember I had adult responsibilities. The 175Hz refresh rate allows for fluid-looking gameplay and motion, which of course is a benefit for those of you who play FPS gaming and are looking for that extra competitive edge. Personally, for me, that side of things doesn't matter because I could be playing on a 500Hz monitor and I would still be terrible, but that's just a skill issue on my part. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed the fluid images together with the gorgeous colors, and remember that RGB light bar that I mentioned earlier on in the video? Well, this really comes into its own when gaming too. Not only can you have it set to regular lighting modes if you choose, but you can actually also sync it up to match the colors that are displayed on your monitor in-game, helping to further immerse you in the experience. This was honestly one of my favorite extra features about this monitor, and kudos to MSI for including this. Now, with this being an OLED monitor, there is always the worry about pixel burn-in, which is a risk with this kind of technology. The 342C does include a few features to try and help reduce the likelihood of this happening. Firstly, it has a pixel shift feature which moves the image by a few pixels at a time to make sure that each pixel isn't showing the same thing all the time. You can actually adjust this setting between slow, normal, or fast depending on the level of protection you want. There is also a static screen detection feature which reduces the brightness of any static elements that are displayed on the screen for long durations. This can help in situations where you're playing games with a static HUD or you're using the monitor in a more productivity-based application. It also has a panel protect feature which periodically gives a full pixel refresh to help protect them from burn-in. And with new OLED Care 2.0, you also get multi-logo detection, taskbar detection, and boundary detection, which spots things like the edges of applications to reduce the risk of those causing burn-in too. While all these features help a lot, always try your best not to keep static images on screen for too long just in case. Now, the panel on this monitor does have an anti-glare glossy surface to help control the reflection of lighting. OLED monitors do have a tendency to reflect lights more than other styles of monitor due to the glossy surface, and if you're in an environment with bright lights, it can be a bit of an issue. With the 342C, there is some evidence of the lights being reflected, as you can see here, but I had this directly opposite my main setup with two key lights turned on, and whilst being sat in front of the monitor, I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that there were no visible reflections in my eye line. This is partly due to the curvature of the monitor, but the takeaway here is that I was able to game comfortably without seeing reflections from the lights behind me. Overall then, I am highly impressed with this monitor. I said I wanted a great high-end OLED ultrawide monitor for when I built my racing sim, and this certainly ticks all of the boxes for me. Gaming on here is an absolute dream with mesmerizing visuals and stunning colors which blow all of my other monitors out of the water. The 34-inch panel with an 1800R curve is great for immersing you within games, and the addition of a light bar which can sync with on-screen colors only serves to heighten the experience even further. Playing on here has made me want to pick up more OLED monitors for the rest of the setup once this monitor moves over into my upcoming sim rig. I would definitely recommend picking this up if you're looking for a great OLED ultrawide, and as I mentioned earlier, this model is actually currently on sale on Amazon at £900, which is a 30% discount, so now is a great time to snap it up. And speaking of the racing sim rig, I'll be building that very soon in an upcoming video, so if you want to check that out, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on here, and I will have an epic surprise for you guys to come when I hit that milestone, so you'll definitely want to be subbed for that. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you all found it helpful, informative, and entertaining. And of course, if you did, then please make sure to drop a like on the video as it really helps a lot. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. The feedback is always really helpful too. And if you don't have any thoughts, just drop your favorite emoji because it helps with that engagement as well. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll be back very soon with another video for you guys, so I'll catch you then. See you later.